Russia's latest upgrade to the Ilyushin IL-96 has taken the aviation world by surprise. Not because it's faster or flashier, but because it's built for a rapidly changing world. Once considered a relic of Soviet engineering, the IL-96 was Russia's answer to the long-range widebody market dominated by the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Now, amid sanctions and a global push toward self-reliance, the upgraded jet has become a symbol of resilience and independence. But why is Russia reviving it now? How can it challenge Western dominance in the skies today? Let's find out. The United States and its Western allies have imposed comprehensive sanctions on Russia in response to major geopolitical actions. First, following the annexation of Crimea in 2014, and more severely following the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, these sanctions target key sectors such as finance, energy, defense, and aviation, aiming to undermine Russia's global influence and access to technology. The aviation industry has been particularly hard hit as Western aircraft manufacturers such as Boeing and Airbus have suspended operations in Russia, cutting off supplies of spare parts, maintenance services, and advanced avionics. Faced with this isolation, Russia has launched a broader campaign to regain economic and technological sovereignty. This shift fits with President Vladimir Putin's vision of reducing Russia's dependence on Western infrastructure and restoring its status as an independent industrial power. One of the most obvious symbols of this new direction is the revival of the Russian-made Ilyushin Il-96 long-range jet. The new aircraft is not just a technological project, but also a political statement. It demonstrates Russia's intention to rebuild its aerospace capabilities with domestic technologies, including Russian-made PD-35 engines, digital flight systems, and composite materials. The modernization of the aircraft represents both resistance and resurgence, a message that Russia will continue to develop despite Western pressure. Beyond aviation, the IL-96 reform also reflects Moscow's growing geopolitical ambitions. By strengthening its domestic production base, Russia wants not only to maintain its aviation industry, but also to assert its independent position on the international stage. In this context, it is not just an aircraft, but also a symbol of Russia's defiance, resilience, and long-term goal of regaining great power status in a divided world order. If you love deep dives into aviation tech and geopolitics, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights. At first glance, the comparison between Russia's Ilyushin Il-9640M and Boeing's 787 Dreamliner may seem one-sided. The Dreamliner, with its super-efficient twin-engine design, extensive use of composite materials, and global reach, is a symbol of innovation in the Western aerospace industry. By contrast, the Il-96-400 is a late Soviet design based on 4 engines and more traditional construction methods. Under the hood, however, the Russian aircraft outperforms the Dreamliner in many important ways. Not in being faster or more advanced, but in being resilient, self-sufficient, and strategically adaptable to a rapidly changing world. The 4-engine aircraft's greatest strength lies in its independence from global supply chains. The Boeing 787 relies on a vast international network of suppliers. Carbon fiber fuselages from Italy and Japan, avionics from the United States, wings from Japan, and engines from the United Kingdom or the United States. This interdependence optimizes costs and efficiency, but also creates vulnerabilities. Any disruption, whether geopolitical conflicts, trade restrictions, or pandemic delays, could disrupt production. By contrast, Russia's new aircraft is built almost entirely from domestically produced Russian components. From the PS90A1 engines to the avionics and flight controls, in an era of sanctions and fragmented global trade, this self-reliance gives Russia the ability to sustain its aerospace industry without foreign input. Strategically, the production of this aircraft ensures that Russia can maintain its long-haul transport capacity, even if it is cut off from Western manufacturers. The aircraft supports government, military, and commercial roles, ensuring logistical continuity across Russia's vast geography. Unlike the Dreamliner, which relies on international certification and maintenance standards, the Russian aircraft is designed to operate autonomously, maintain, and be serviced entirely within its borders. More notably, the 4-engine configuration, while more fuel-efficient, offers redundancy and reliability, important advantages for operations over remote or polar regions where diversion airports are scarce. This makes it particularly suitable for Russia's vast northern routes, government missions, and potential cargo or military variants. Furthermore, its simpler mechanical systems and lack of proprietary Western software make it easy to maintain in isolated environments, reducing its dependence on foreign expertise or digital infrastructure. Politically, the development of the new aircraft represents Russia's strategic challenge to economic isolation. While the Boeing 787 represents globalization built on international cooperation and free market access, the Russian Darling represents resistance to dependence. It turns constraints into opportunities, demonstrating that technological progress can be redefined as self-sustainability rather than global integration. So on paper and persuasively, the IL-96 OOM outperforms the Boeing 787, not because of superior fuel efficiency or sales, but because of its enduring strategic resilience. It demonstrates that, in an era of sanctions, shifting alliances, and rising nationalism, survival and independence can be more important than technological sophistication. The Dreamliner represents a world built on cooperation. The Russian aircraft represents a world built on sovereignty. And in today's divided skies, that difference could be decisive for the future of global aviation. So, could this shift toward aviation independence change the global balance of power? Share your thoughts below. Despite its iconic value and technological upgrades, the new Ilyushin faces significant challenges on its way to becoming a truly competitive wide-body aircraft on the global market. The aircraft is a proud symbol of Russia's aerospace sovereignty, but that independence comes at a high cost, both economically and technologically. One of the primary challenges lies in fuel efficiency and operating costs, even with its improved PS9A1 engines. The IL-96 additive consumes significantly more fuel than modern twin-engine jets, such as the Boeing 787 Dreamliner or Airbus A350, the aircraft's 4 in configuration. While more reliable and safer for long-range operations in the polar regions, increases fuel consumption and maintenance requirements until the next-generation PD-35 engine is ready. The aircraft will struggle to compete cost-effectively with Western aircraft, which have benefited from decades of improvements in lightweight composite structures and aerodynamic optimization. Another key challenge is limited production capacity. The Russian aviation industry, constrained by sanctions and supply chain issues, lacks the large-scale manufacturing infrastructure and export support networks that Western manufacturers have. Each of these aircraft requires a lot of time and resources to build, making mass production economically difficult. Most orders so far have come from state airlines or government fleets, raising questions about the aircraft's long-term commercial viability without strong international demand. In addition, the certification hurdles are high. Western and many Asian markets require compliance with international safety and environmental standards, which Russia is unlikely to achieve in its current political isolation. This restricts the aircraft to mainly domestic routes or friendly markets, limiting its revenue potential. Technologically, although the aircraft has been equipped with modern avionics and a digital cockpit system, it is still based on a traditional aluminum airframe. This makes the aircraft heavier than Western composite aircraft, reducing payload flexibility and range efficiency. Modernizing production to incorporate advanced materials requires significant investment, and this process may be slowed by economic constraints and export restrictions on composite technology. However, the biggest challenge may already be perceived in a world dominated by Boeing and Airbus. The new Russian aircraft must not only overcome technical limitations, but also overcome the global image of Russian aviation, often seen as outdated or driven by the state rather than the market. Changing this perception requires reliability, safety, and sustained operational success over time. Ultimately, the path ahead for the IL-96 OOM is one of persistence, not dominance. Its challenge is not to overtake the Western giants, but to demonstrate that independence, resilience, and domestic production can still hold a significant place in modern aviation. At the heart of Russia's aviation revival lies not just the aircraft, but the engine, the PD-35, a groundbreaking turbojet engine that promises to reshape the country's aerospace independence. It is designed to power next-generation wide-body aircraft, such as the upgraded Ilyushin IL-96 Tintin. Moreover, it is a strategic symbol of Russia's determination